Total domination. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez just absolutely destroyed Naomi and Bianca Belair in one of the most shocking beatdowns of the year. Two of WWE's biggest stars were left laying, and the women's division will never be the same after what we witnessed. If you missed this brutal display of dominance, I'm breaking down every devastating moment right now. What's up, Wrestling Verse family? Welcome back to the channel where we bring you the most shocking moments, the biggest beatdowns, and the matches that change everything in professional wrestling. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell because moments like this are why we do what we do. Today we're talking about Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez absolutely demolishing Naomi and Bianca Belair in a statement-making performance that has everyone talking. This is huge, so let's dive in. Before we get into the destruction that took place, let's talk about the four incredible athletes involved in this match and what makes this moment so significant for the WWE Women's Division. Bianca Belair is one of the biggest stars in all of WWE. The EST of WWE has held multiple championships, main evented WrestleMania, and established herself as one of the most dominant and athletic performers in company history. Her strength, her charisma, and her ability to deliver in big moments have made her a cornerstone of the women's division. Naomi is equally impressive, a former SmackDown Women's Champion, an incredible athlete who brings unique offense and undeniable charisma to every match. Her connection with the WWE Universe is special, and her partnership with Bianca created one of the most formidable teams in the division. Together, Bianca and Naomi represent star power, athleticism, and fan support. They're the kind of team that should be nearly unstoppable. Which is exactly what made what happened so shocking and significant. On the other side, you have Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, two women with a complicated history but undeniable chemistry when they're on the same page. Both former champions in their own right, both hungry to prove they belong at the top, and both willing to do whatever it takes to dominate the division. Liv Morgan has evolved tremendously over her career. From underdog to champion to calculating competitor, she's shown that she can adapt and thrive in any situation. Her determination and resilience have earned her respect throughout the locker room. Raquel Rodriguez is a powerhouse, one of the strongest women in WWE history. Her size, her strength, and her intensity make her a threat to anyone who steps in the ring with her. When Raquel is locked in and focused, she's nearly impossible to stop. The match itself was highly anticipated. Bianca and Naomi were the favorites going in, which made sense given their status and their track record. The crowd was firmly behind them, expecting another impressive victory to add to their resume. The opening minutes of the match followed expectations. Bianca and Naomi were showcasing their incredible athleticism, working together seamlessly, and controlling the pace. Their teamwork was impressive, their offense was crisp, and they looked like they were well on their way to victory. Liv and Raquel were fighting from underneath, playing the heel role effectively, and looking for any opportunity to shift momentum. The match was telling a good story with the fan favorites in control and the challengers desperately trying to find an opening. Then everything changed. The shift in momentum wasn't gradual, it was sudden and violent. Liv and Raquel found their opening, and when they did, they exploded with an intensity that caught everyone off guard. What started as a standard tag team match transformed into an absolute mauling. Liv and Raquel weren't just trying to win anymore, they were trying to make a statement, to send a message, and to establish dominance in the most brutal way possible. Raquel's power became the deciding factor. When she got her hands on Bianca, one of the strongest women in WWE, and started throwing her around like a ragdoll, the crowd collectively gasped. This wasn't supposed to happen to Bianca Belair. The EST doesn't get dominated like this. But it was happening, and there was nothing she could do to stop it. Liv Morgan showed a vicious streak that we've seen glimpses of before but never quite like this. Every move was delivered with bad intentions. Every strike was meant to hurt, not just to score points. Liv was wrestling like a woman possessed, determined to prove that she and Raquel were the most dominant team in WWE. The double team moves were devastating. Liv and Raquel were working together with scary efficiency, cutting the ring in half, isolating their opponents, and delivering punishment that had the crowd in shock. This wasn't competitive wrestling. This was systematic destruction. Naomi tried desperately to mount a comeback. Her athleticism and fighting spirit were on full display as she attempted to turn the tide. But every time she built momentum, Liv and Raquel shut it down with authority. The message was clear. Not tonight, not against this version of Liv and Raquel. Bianca, despite being hurt, tried to rally. The EST dug deep, showing the toughness that has defined her career. But Raquel's power advantage was too much. When you combine Raquel's strength with Liv's strategic aggression, even someone as talented as Bianca can be overwhelmed. The finishing sequence was absolutely brutal. Liv and Raquel hit their signature combination moves with precision and impact. The way they dismantled both Bianca and Naomi was clinical, almost surgical in its execution. This was a team that was completely in sync and firing on all cylinders. When the 3 count came, it almost felt anticlimactic because the match had already been decided well before that point. Liv and Raquel hadn't just won, they had dominated 2 of the biggest stars in WWE's women's division in a way that nobody anticipated. But the victory itself wasn't enough for Liv and Raquel. What happened after the bell rang took this from a dominant victory to a defining moment for the women's division. They continued the assault, making it crystal clear that this wasn't just about winning a match. This was about establishing themselves as the most dangerous team in WWE. Security and referees had to intervene to separate them from Bianca and Naomi. The post-match beatdown was intense and left both Bianca and Naomi hurt and humiliated. The image of these 2 stars laid out in the ring while Liv and Raquel stood tall above them is one that will be replayed and referenced for months to come. Let's talk about what this means for Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez moving forward. This victory and the manner in which they achieved it instantly elevates their status in the women's division. They just beat 2 of WWE's biggest stars decisively. That's not something you can ignore or dismiss. For Liv Morgan, this represents another chapter in her evolution as a performer. She's proven that she can be a sympathetic babyface, a calculating champion, and now part of a dominant heel team. Her versatility is one of her greatest strengths, and this performance showcased another dimension of her character. The partnership with Raquel, despite their complicated past, is clearly working. When these 2 women are aligned and focused, they're nearly unstoppable. The combination of Liv's cunning and Raquel's power creates problems that very few teams can solve. For Raquel Rodriguez, this was a statement match. After dealing with various storylines and character directions, this performance reminded everyone why she's considered one of the most physically dominant women in WWE history. When Raquel is clicking like she was in this match, she's a legitimate monster who can destroy anyone. The tag team division just got infinitely more interesting. Liv and Raquel aren't just contenders anymore, they're the team to beat. Any championship-holding duo should be looking over their shoulders because this performance announced that Liv and Raquel are coming for gold and they're not asking nicely. Now let's discuss what this means for Bianca Belair and Naomi. This is a significant setback, and how they respond will be crucial for their characters and their position in the division. For Bianca, this might be the most dominant loss she's suffered in years. The EST isn't used to being overpowered and outclassed like she was in this match. That has to hurt her pride and her confidence. The question is whether this motivates her to come back stronger or if it creates doubt that her opponents can exploit. Bianca's character has always been about overcoming adversity and proving doubters wrong. This loss gives her that adversity to overcome. The storyline potential is tremendous as she tries to regain her dominance and get revenge on Liv and Raquel for the humiliation they caused. For Naomi, this loss is equally significant. She's been trying to re-establish herself as a top competitor in WWE, and getting destroyed like this is a major blow. However, like Bianca, Naomi has shown throughout her career that she can bounce back from setbacks and come back stronger. The partnership between Bianca and Naomi might also be tested by this loss. When teams suffer devastating defeats, it can create tension and questions about whether the partnership is working. Will they stick together and seek revenge, or will this loss cause fractures in their alliance? The potential for a rematch or a series of matches between these teams is incredibly exciting. You know Bianca and Naomi are going to want revenge. They're going to demand another opportunity to prove that what happened was a fluke. And Liv and Raquel are going to want to prove that it wasn't a fluke, that they really are that dominant. Imagine a series of increasingly intense matches with different stipulations. A no disqualification match where everyone can unleash their full aggression. A steel cage match to prevent interference and ensure a definitive conclusion. The possibilities for compelling storytelling are endless. This result also shakes up the entire women's division. Other teams are going to look at what Liv and Raquel did and realize that the hierarchy has changed. Teams that thought they had clear paths to championships now have to deal with a dominant force that just proved they can beat anyone. Individual competitors might also take notice. If you're a singles wrestler looking to make an impact, targeting members of this dominant team could be your path to relevance. Conversely, if you're looking for a tag team partner, you might want to recruit someone who can help you compete with Liv and Raquel's power and aggression. The crowd reaction to this match has been fascinating. During the match, fans went from confident in Bianca and Naomi's victory to shocked silence as the beating continued. The post-match reaction online has been intense discussion about whether this is the beginning of a new era in the women's division. Some fans are excited about Liv and Raquel's dominant performance, seeing it as a fresh direction for the division. Others are concerned about their favorites being beaten down so decisively. That mix of reactions is exactly what great heel work should generate: genuine emotional investment from the audience. The women's division in WWE has never been more competitive or more talented than it is right now. Moments like this, where established stars get shocked and new forces emerge, keep the division fresh and keep fans engaged. The unpredictability creates must-see television. This match also showcased the incredible talent level in WWE's women's division. All four women are phenomenal athletes who can tell stories, connect with audiences, and deliver memorable performances. Even in defeat, Bianca and Naomi showed why they're considered among the best. And Liv and Raquel proved that on any given night, anyone can dominate. Looking ahead, the ramifications of this match will be felt for months. Championship opportunities will be influenced by this result. Storylines will develop from the fallout. And the inevitable rematches will draw significant interest from fans eager to see how the story continues. The destruction of Naomi and Bianca by Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez was more than just a match result. It was a statement, a power shift, and a defining moment for everyone involved. The women's division just got a lot more interesting, and we're all here for it. Alright, Wrestling vs. Family, this was massive and I want to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and tell me, were you shocked by how dominant Liv and Raquel were? Can Bianca and Naomi bounce back from this? And do you want to see a rematch? Let's discuss. If you loved this breakdown of one of the most dominant performances in the women's division, show some love by hitting that like button. It helps us grow and bring you more incredible wrestling content every single day. Make sure you're subscribed to Wrestling vs. CC with notifications turned on. We cover every major moment in WWE's women's division, from shocking upsets to championship matches to rivalries that define careers. Don't miss a single upload. Share this video everywhere. Post it on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Reddit, and send it to every wrestling fan you know. Everyone needs to see this analysis of a match that just changed the entire women's division. Check out our other videos covering women's wrestling, tag team action, and all the latest WWE news and analysis. We've got tons of amazing content celebrating the incredible athletes in professional wrestling. I'm Wrestling vs. CC, and thank you so much for being part of this community. Keep supporting women's wrestling, keep celebrating these incredible performers, and I'll catch you in the next video. Until then, stay locked into all things WWE. Peace out.